Welcome to episode 4 of Spilling the Beans. I'm Greg.
I'm Hillary, and today we're going to talk about how we were recently scammed in Mexico.
But first we're going to try a coffee. This is our second YouTube channel. Many of you may know us as a Kinetic Kinnens over on the YouTube channel, Kinetic Kinnens. But on this channel, con Todo Coffee, we talk all things coffee. We've tried coffee made in a coffee maker. It was terrible. And we've tried a lot of different coffees. There's a lot of stuff going on over here. Today we're trying a part robusta, part arabica coffee.
Yep.
It is 100% Mexican coffee, and we're going to get into how we were scammed in Mexico, and it pertains to coffee. But we thought it'd be interesting to try this coffee because in the coffee world, robusta coffee, really outside of Vietnam, is known to be a lower quality coffee.
Yep.
And we wanted to see if with just 30%?
Yep.
30% of this coffee being robusta, if we could tell or not. It's known to be very bitter, very harsh. It has a lot more caffeine in it, which at first might sound like a good thing, but there is such a thing as too much of a good thing. So why is robusta cheap? Why is it known to be bad?
So robusta trees are a lot easier to grow. They basically grow similar to those weeds that you just can't kill in your front yard. They can grow in all different sorts of climate. They're very naturally resistant to pests and other natural threats.
Right.
To a coffee plant in general, and so therefore it's easier to make robusta organic because pesticides aren't really necessary to help control. It'll grow anywhere. It's basically like a weed, and that is why robusta is a lot cheaper than a more premium, higher quality arabica tree.
It's very cheap, and a lot of companies will cut robusta into their blends for them to save money. So it's a way for people to try and still sell you coffee and save money, but does it affect
fillers?
Yeah, it's basically like a filler.
Yeah.
But I'm curious if we can, with just 30%, if we like this coffee or not. Smell test. I don't know. It didn't.
It's just a little burnt.
I'm not getting really anything.
Yeah.
All right, let's taste it. Cheers.
It's not very good.
It's not. It wasn't. My first impression is that it wasn't as unpleasant as I was anticipating.
I'm going to go... You know when you were little and your parents needed new tires?
Where's this going?
And you went into the tire store and it smells... Or the back of a Walmart and it smells like tires? Mm-hmm. That's what this tastes like.
Okay. That's very specific.
I mean... It's exactly what this tastes like to me. New rubber tires.
New rubber tire coffee. Here's the thing about what I'm getting from this coffee is a really bad aftertaste.
Yeah.
It's like
I really need to brush my teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, really puckered, but it's not good.
Yeah, it's probably if you're not drinking if you're not drinking specialty coffee, probably what you're drinking has robusta in it, so this honestly is probably what they're going to serve at a diner. Yeah. It kind of tastes like diner coffee, which to some people is not bad. And the interesting thing through our travels, what we've learned is everywhere enjoys coffee a different way. In Vietnam, Vietnamese people love their robusta coffee, and they love it extremely strong with a ton of condensed milk, a ton of lechera. So, and I think they probably put that much lechera. If they just used arabica beans, maybe they wouldn't use that much lechera. So there's no wrong way to, well, I think there is, but culturally, people love different types of coffee, and so
there's no wrong opinion with how things taste to you. Continuing with the rubber tire theme, what about when your parents used to take you, drag you with them to get their oil changed, and they always had a pot of coffee in the oil change place in the waiting room that's been sitting there from day to day to day to day. So this is also kind of like that.
Yeah, this is not good. We've bought a lot of coffee recently for these episodes.
This might be one of the worst.
That has not been very good. So we're spending a lot of money. The production cost of spilling the beans is very high for not so great coffee when we could just be trying good coffees. My verdict is Robusta coffee, even if it's just 30%, not good. I don't know how good the 65% or whatever arabica were. My guess is they weren't like the best beans anyways. But
yeah, and I don't want to get too far into this topic because this is definitely another topic for a different day. But there's also tons of different types of arabica trees, and I did notice on this coffee, it's like prepared a different way. And so my guess is they just picked arabica beans from around Mexico and kind of blended them all together, which a blend can be a good thing, or it can be used almost just to like as a cheap way to like buy up the cheapest arabica beans from so many different farms, grown at all different under all different conditions and processed different ways. And I have a feeling that's probably what this is.
Exactly. Most people
like the kitchen sink.
Yes, and that's not how people sell blends. They sell it like, curated. We picked some select beans from Oaxaca, select beans from Veracruz that made the perfect blend. There probably are people doing that, not in Mexico. I think there are people that are putting together good blends. For the most part, if you're getting grocery store coffee and it's a blend, no matter what they're writing on the package, they're selling you a bunch of horse shit.
It's like leftovers. It's like when you go to your fridge and you're like, oh crap, we got some macaroni, some spaghetti sauce, and some chicken. So
now, to the people waiting around to see how and why we were scammed in Mexico, it did involve coffee. I can't even drink this. I'm gonna have to make another cup.
I had to set it down.
I'm gonna have to make another cup of the good stuff because that ain't it.
Garbage.
We were scammed in Mexico. A little bit of clickbait, but we have 87 subscribers and no one watches these videos, so we got to get your attention. But we were scammed.
We really were scammed.
We were scammed.
And I was mad. I still am mad, actually. Okay, here's what happened. We went into the grocery store and they had all of these coffees in like see-through containers, kind of like a bulk food section where you basically choose which coffee you want and then pay by the weight. So the implication is,
they presented
to me, what's implied is that those are different than what you may find on the grocery store shelf. And it was next to this fancy schmancy coffee bar type thing in a nice grocery store. So we picked the coffee we wanted, but it seemed like maybe right now it wasn't self-service. I don't know if that was still hangover from COVID, but basically we needed to ask for help. So we asked for help, and instead of just like pouring the coffee beans out
we assumed they would pour it out of the container. Usually at those type of things that are like pay by the weight, you do it or someone else does it, and it was definitely presented to be the select beans from around Mexico and like premium, and that's what got our attention. Oh, this grocery store really sells premium coffee. We got to try some.
So the worker comes over, puts on gloves, and just opens up a cabinet underneath all these beautifully displayed like glass canisters. Opens up a cabinet underneath, pulls out a bag of grocery store coffee, and cuts the bag open and sells that to us, like dumps some in a plain bag and sells that to us. It was literally the same coffee that they sell on the shelf, but they had taken like the branding off of the glass canisters and written a fancy schmancy description. I can't. I'm still my blood is boiling. My heart is pounding. We were scammed. It was sold under the guise that it was special coffee, and it was not.
Yeah, I think we were manipulated. You know, maybe scammed is too harsh of a word. It got your attention though, didn't it? We were definitely manipulated, and it worked. And we knew we were buying robusta beans, so we knew.
Yeah.
But I just still assumed that it was okay. This is an intentional blend. Like, this is still going to be something nice. I don't anticipate loving the robusta flavors from this, but this feels like special coffee, premium coffee, and a step above what they're selling in the bags.
What you might find on aisle 26.
But he might as well have walked to aisle 26, grabbed a bag, cut it open.
And sold it to us for more expensive per gram than it was sold on the shelves.
Hillary does not like when things like that just, I don't know how to explain it.
Well, you don't know how to explain me?
I don't know how to explain
When
it.
things aren't fair, or I feel like I've been tricked, misled, scammed, insert whatever word you want there, I cannot stand it. There's nothing that gets under my skin more than when I feel like we've been purposefully tricked. And this was that.
To be honest, that is the entire coffee industry. And we're not going to get into it in this video. We want to do future videos about some of the trickery and manipulation in the coffee industry.
Yep.
But when we started Con Todo Coffee, I feel like we were so naive about business and the coffee world and how it works, because the way people sell things, what they put on the package, what they put in the stores, the pictures they have in their roastery, they paint a picture that quite simply is just not true. And it's not fair. And it's not that it's not fair to you. It doesn't matter to us as business owners, but it's not fair to you as a consumer when you are being tricked and you are being lied to and sold something that is not what you thought you were buying.
Yeah, and that's why we're here to spill the beans.
I think that is it for episode 4. Turns out robusta coffee, still terrible. If you're gonna buy good coffee, steer clear of the grocery store. I mean, I guess we knew that. But do not go to...
Don't be tricked.
Signing out.
Signing out? Ow.
That did not hurt.
Ow.
I didn't even...
No, you had to...
There we go.
Stop being so limp.